Hello everybody, this is Max Farrell, this is DexTrader.com. Today is September 14th, 2018, and this is Trading Live with Max. Now, today is Friday, and today is sort of like update day. It's like, how did the week go? You know, just let you know what everything's going on. Because this morning, no signals are fired. I was wondering why. Well, first thing is first, hit over to news for the dailies, and really a ton of news happening. So if anything does fire from now until 11 o'clock, I'd be a little bit suspect, because most of the times when signals don't fire like this at 8:30, 8:15 area, right, the news is pushed it way into the margins. And it's going to try to come back to do some things, but I don't think it's going to do what you like. All right, so if we do get a big day of movement, there may not even be any signals firing for the 11 o'clock. I've seen this happen a couple times on Friday because the market stalls out and we don't pierce or immerse any levels. Remember, the dailies are fired off when the market moves to a certain point or certain level and immerses past that level. We then say, okay, this is the daily number. This is the statement price. Is going to be a buy. It's going to be from this point right here. But if the market stays like level into the area, like say if it gets pushed up and then news comes out and pushes it back down and more news comes out and just kind of stays in the middle and neither of these highs or lows are pierced, guess what? We don't get a signal. Okay, so just keep that in mind. I'm not trading anything on the 5-minute signals today right now, only because it's Friday and there's some crazy stuff happening for the next 15-20 minutes, as well as from 8:30 on there was a lot of stuff, so I won't be doing any trading there. Now, I want to kind of show you some mentalities here, okay? And it's really important for you to know that we have some pretty strong clients and people that I'm really starting to see have a very strong process of trading. Now, I want to introduce you to James Looney, and James is a very, and I blocked out some of his stuff up here so you can see his address, but I have to tell you, James writes me and puts into perspective and shares his documents with me every single day, just about. And I don't think that there's too many people and too many companies out there that would be on top of somebody's account and somebody's process like this. We do this because we remain small, we remain very vigilant, and we really try. But let me tell you, James is a really good trader, and he's coming into his own. And you have to see this. Now, before I show you this, risk disclaimer. Hang on one second. I needed a cup of coffee. It's been a rough morning this morning. But risk disclaimer here. Not everybody's going to have this kind of success, especially not right away. It's taken James some time to really beef up and work on his process here, okay? But I want to tell you something on how James and a few other people work. There's about maybe 20 or 30 people that are at this level that are doing very well within the system. And why did they do it? His claim to success is just following the rules. Does he still make mistakes? Absolutely, but you learn. Every time you make a mistake, you learn. You learn and you learn. And that's the real power here. The spreadsheet that you see in front of you is something that's put together, that we put this model together, and James fills it in with his trades that he's done. And we have this model called honesty in the heart, right? You got to keep this in mind, that I can only show what somebody shows me. And I could tell you right now, James would never, ever, and I don't think anybody who takes the time to do the efforts that are in front of them would even bother putting losses in. If they wanted to cheat the system, they wouldn't even put losses in, right? Excuse me. So the big lessons that James had to learn from the very beginning, and he would tell you too, he was one that was on the webinar a couple of weeks ago, is that you have to learn how to slow down. And I don't mean just slow down like, okay, let's make a trade now. I'm referring to that when you take the time to do your analysis correctly and wait for the proper signal to hit, okay? Not one that's like, should I take that? If you're in question, then the answer is no, okay? And this is something that James had to learn. The second lesson that James had to learn in all of this was to only take a handful of trades a day. And when I say a handful, I mean one or two. Okay, I don't mean 5 or 6. I don't mean 10 or 20. I mean 1 or 2. And in most cases, 1. Now, why would we do that? Come on, let's be real here. How much money do you really need to make a day? If the average James can make per trade is about $28 per trade, is $28 enough a day? Well, if you're trading 20 times a month, okay, between 20 and 25 times, right? Let's be real, because you might have some days off. How much money would you make? You make about $560. That's right. Now let's just talk about just this. This is the minimum that we could probably talk about at this point. If we worked 20 days a week and we won 1 trade a day, that's $28. Now, if you worked really hard, now James worked really hard, but he also added trades in he probably shouldn't have, and he traded really overtraded. So he had an 89% success rate, and he really worked hard at messing himself up sometimes. Okay? And he had multiple contracts and everything else in there. But the point is that if you're sitting at one contract for $28 and you trade over a period of 20 days, you make $560 per month. Is this like a super living? Are you retiring and moving to the Maldives? The answer is no. And let's just say out of this 20, you lose 1, right? Because you're assuming about 95% success rate. You're going to lose at least 1. Okay, that's 95% success. So you would lose $62 or $72 on this process if you lose. Okay? So let's just say that you did that and you come out to be like $490. Let's just round it up a little bit to $490 per month. Okay? And this is your net profit that you would make. If you followed the rules and you did everything right, you followed the sect of this 5-minute system. I'm not saying this is the minimum you could make. I mean, you could do worse or you could do better. Okay? But let's just say that everything just followed out and you found 95%, you just hovering right at that. What would you do? And then you minus off that, let's just say the system you're here for $147. Okay? Now remember, this is a one-time thing. This is just a monthly expense. So it only comes out of your first month. If you do what I'm about to show you, this will only come off once, right? In fact, let's not even put it on there just yet. Okay? Now, in order for you to make more money, do you have to trade more? Do you have to trade more trades? All right, I need another 1 trade that's $28. I need another 1 trade that's $28. No, you don't. You just have to change 1 variable. That's right, this one. You change it to 2, which is 2 contracts at $28. And you've doubled your money. Boom, done. Now, in order to do that, you got to make sure your balance can afford to be able to do that. And that's okay. But this is the toughest lesson for any person in the industry to learn. And I mean the toughest. Ask James. The reason why it's so tough, these guys are very smart. And you equate time with money. That's the problem. When you equate the actual time that you spend sitting down with actual money, it's no bueno. Okay? What you need to do as a trader is you need to see opportunity equals money. That's it. And the opportunity equals money is in the 1 trade. The 1 golden trade. That's what you're looking for. Nothing more. And what does this golden opportunity offer itself at least once a day? So here's the propaganda behind it all, right? You try to figure out, when is my perfect Jacobs window, my perfect Einstein window, right? We talk about this. Your Einstein window is the time period that you are perfect. You just woke up, you got your coffee. Mine's usually between 8 and 11. Okay, I have a nice 2-hour window, 3-hour window of time. Okay, my kids aren't running in and out of the office. My wife's doing her thing, doing her work for her job that she does. So I'm sitting at my computer. I'm fresh. I got no distractions. That's my time. If I work with my dailies, which we'll talk about here in a little bit, I just go in at 8 o'clock and I put my trades on and I put my working orders on, and what fills, fills. Opportunity equals money. It's not ROI or return on investment on how much time I spend. It's how many opportunities do I get that I know that'll be pure. And that has a success rate. But then my Jacobs window that I need to really be focused on, my Einstein window that I need to be really focused on, is all about the 5-minute series. So when that happens, how many opportunities do I have? Because I find the perfect opportunity. Is this one perfect? No, it's not perfect, so I don't take it. So this one's a no. Another opportunity comes here. Do I take it? Yep, I took that one. Now this is the hardest lesson to learn. My day is done. Look at that. My 3-hour window now just turned into a 1-hour time opportunity. What do I do with all the rest of this time? Oh, let's trade. Let's trade. Let's try to trade. Let's trade. Let's trade. No. This is the biggest failure to everybody, is not then to apply that to the algorithm CVG. People get tired of me saying this sometimes, I think. Consistency plus volume equals goal. And your goal should now be to get to consistency. All right? And it's unfortunate. It's the first time I made it this way, okay? This circulum that you get when you really get the aha is, what does it take? And James can see this, and I'll show you in his thing here, and then I'll go through some of the other ones. I won't keep picking on James. But James saw this here just recently, and I'll show you why. He got to 10 contracts. Okay? He got to 10 contracts. Now this is his demo account. And he got to 10 contracts pretty quickly because he started back in July, and here he's at 10 contracts. So about 2 months, really hitting it and doing really well. This is no number to be snubbed at either. Okay? This isn't just because it's demo doesn't make it fake. It took work to do. And I'm proud of James. He worked very hard. But the risks, pretty huge too. So he's still battling with this number. And because he was battling with that number, it shook his resolve a little. He's like, well, I got to start over. It's almost like a batter coming in and really figuring stuff out and then going back and trying it again, just to make sure. It could have been a fluke. So he went back in and he did an express version of the incremental crawl. And it worked just like the first time. Maybe even a little better. And he immediately saw, holy crap, in less than a week, I'm already back up to 4 contracts again. But this time, the mentality's a little different. Okay? The idealism's a little bit different because he's able to see that with one good trade a day, okay, look at this. On the 11th, he traded 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 times. And at the end of the day, he got a loss. I could take all this stuff away and strip it away from James and say, trade once a day and no more. And then yesterday, a couple of days ago, we really started to talk. And I'm like, dude, you're trading way too much. I sent him an email. You're trading way too much. Okay? So that was on the 12th I sent that to him. At the end of the day, again, another loss in there. You should be losing maybe once every 5 or 6 days. 8, 9, 10 days. You shouldn't have a loss every day. You shouldn't be battling yourself. Because let me show you something, okay? If you got in and traded, this trade would only, this for the 12th, he would have been $71 in a positive on the 12th. $71 on the 12th. And he sat at his computer. He was at his computer over a period, I won't say all day, but he had he had this time period and he had one trade at night. Okay? But the concept was he made $71. But guess what? His very first trade he got into, look at that. Rarely in any of the days that he has started. Has he ever lost on his very first trade? That's right, seeing the pattern. It doesn't mean the first one you see is going to be your best one, but it will be one. And the idea here is that if you go back and look at your journal, like he's created, and you look back at the very first trade he's made every single day. Boom, 150. Boom, 84. We keep just scrolling up, even the one on the 11th. Boom, $60. There's the 10th. Boom, $280. Okay? If you can get in that understanding is that very first one you get into, you're hunting. And once you get it, you quit it. Done. Be done for the day. Slap your hands together. Get on board. Bonga. He's another guy. Oh, and I'll show you the daily stuff here in a minute, but here's another guy who's been working very hard. His August numbers weren't the best, but still pretty good. Positive ROI. Was struggling through some realizations. See, he's got some losses in there. Put the working orders on. Was scalping out and all that kind of stuff and doing all kinds of stuff, right? Prices are all over the place. But he struggled in learning. Came back, found it out quick, got back in. Look, halfway through, we're halfway through the month, and he's already close to his full month from last month. Why? Because he dialed it in. He's still trading just a little too much per day, but again, those are lessons that are hard to learn as you go along. Let's talk about who else is in here. Let's look at Mike's. Mike's doing pretty good, 95% success rate. Look how great Mike's doing. $2,900 for the month so far. $2,900. Now Mike has been following some of the rules, but he's still trading just a little bit too much. But he's getting his feel. Okay. And even keeping notes. These are expression notes. Okay, these are notes that people keep because at the time I tell them, take the note that you're feeling. And he says, I got taken out of this trade literally on the last second, and that's true. Some of us may think that somebody's out to get us for that stuff, but let me tell you, it happens all the time. It happens for the good. You know, all those trades that you win that are like, wow, I didn't think I was going to win that. I was going to lose my first one, and it wins in the last second. Well, this is called quid quo pro. Okay, karma, whatever. All right, but that's why we play the numbers the way we do, sitting at 95%. Anybody who tells me they can improve on 95%, I call them a fool. A fool. What are you chasing? 99.9%? It's ridiculous. Get your ass in here. Get your ass working. Here's Day Trader 256. Okay, September numbers. Still trading just a little bit too much. Trying really hard to really push numbers a little bit. The beginning of the month was playing the 66.33 stuff, but now sort of took a little hiatus, took a little time off. Okay, got back in, started to play with the numbers just a little bit. Okay, look, 1 or 2 trades, right? Win the first one. Now, since he changes his mentality a little bit, right, where this gray bar is, I think this is a mentality change, right? Look what happened. Perfect, right? Beautiful. Invigorating, I got to tell you. Now, let's look at James's dailies numbers. Now, here's what James sent me here just recently, okay? He sent me there's some profanity in this, so please bear with me. He goes, holy shit, Max. I went ahead and started into these dailies on demo, and look at what I won, doing set and forget. I'm sure on live we would have gotten filled on 1 or 2 of these, but it's pretty good stuff. Do you have a schedule for these on the EST? So James really, because we started to look at some of the processes for the daily trades, and why are they so successful, and why do they work so well? The reason why they work so well is because it has a ratio as well. And the ratio is simple. Not all of these are going to get filled. Okay? These aren't trades, these are signals. And out of the signals, 30% of them will get filled. On demo, it's usually about 45% will get filled. On live, it's usually between 20 and 30%. But on 20 or 30% of the trades, you're going to get filled. You're going to have success rates of 97 and above, 97% and above. And if you're buying the trades for $30 a piece, okay, or even it's just $25 a piece, okay, and you get filled for 30% of those, if you're putting 10 working orders on a day and you're doing all that stuff, you're looking to get one a day, right? And if you can get one a day, there's 6 sessions that fire off on the daily. 6 sessions a day that fire off. If you can't sit down for 10 minutes and fill out and just be able to go to your computer for 1 minute to be able to do these, then don't trade. But your objective is to fill one a day. And to do so, you're winning $25. And at 95% success rate, guess what? Don't you see the consistency here in the numbers? It's the same stuff for dailies. If you can find one a day, look, if James can find, this is from the 12th. He found the 1 on the 2 on the 12th, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 on the 13th. Okay. If he'd been doing 10 contracts per each one, that would have been $2,000. Let's be real. Okay. So that's our update. That's our weekly totals, I guess you could say. We had a really great week with the signals. There was no major block bad zones. The only one that came close was on the 7th, but even then, there's only a handful of losses on those particular signals. So I'm very surprised. Usually I'll get some pretty good numbers. The system here too, also down the bottom, tells you, how did we do for the week so far. So not too bad, right? So day 27, we're sitting at 100% today. 100% today so far. As for the week, I want to show you something for the week. This is 173 signals at 99.4% success. We're looking at the Audi JPY and a handful of others. Look, Audi JPY, Audi. Now look, for the week, if you would have gotten in one of these trades for the week, every single Audi that would have been gotten into would have won. Okay? Audi USD would have won. Euro Great Britain Pound would have won. The only ones that would have had some losses if you would have gotten them to this past week, right there. Great Britain Pound JPY. Would have been the only ones. If you would have went and looked at this, sitting at 100% for the month so far, every Audi JPY you would have gotten into would have won. Same thing with the Audi USD. Euro JPY, USD CHF, and USD JPY would have all won. Huge. Why are you not here? Why are you not following? If you're watching this and you're not part of our company, and you're saying, I don't know where I can go to trade, how can I make my money? Then you're a fool. The answers are here. And we've been here for 2.5, 3 years, almost 3.5 years now. Holy crap. Okay. Get on it. And if you listen, if you were a previous customer and you're watching this, and you're like, well, that didn't work for me, and you got all this shit lame excuses, you can't deny that this stuff works. Well, you can. But there's a reason why so many people are using it. And if you didn't get it, come back. Come back and try to figure it out. Book a consult. Sit on the phone with me. Help me figure out how to get you to learn how to do these. They're stupidly simple to join and get on board with. I'm Max Farrell. This has been DexTrader.com, Trading Live with Max. Weekly update. We'll see you next time. Probably Sunday night, Monday morning. Next week, there is some training orientation stuff that's changing. I'm making some free classes for people how to learn how to trade Forex and do other things and trade some of our indicators. You'll see some DEX indicator stuff coming up. Hit the smash the like button and the subscribe. Click the little bell and get the notifications so you are better informed. I'm Max Farrell. This is DexTrader.com. And as always, trade well.